We're ready to go live, guys. Danny, are you ready?
Yep,
I
I'm
can't
ready.
wait. If those that are late are late, but those that are here, right? So, welcome back to another episode of Sharing of the Mindsets with Daryl King. And today we got a very special guest who's been joined us before because he's a great leader and a great friend. So, he's a real estate coach with over 14 years of experience helping brokers and agents set up systems that drive success. From agent training to database management, Danny has mastered the strategies that can help real estate professionals grow their business. In this episode, we're going to dive deep into advanced database tips and tricks to maximize your success. So, we were just talking about doing the 90-day challenge, Danny. So, what a
Yeah, what's
perfect
that?
to reach out to everybody. So, by talking about what we're going to talk about today, that's going to be a large way of helping them do their growth, right? So Danny is the owner of Broker Nation, and like I said, he's one of my best friends, and he's I always love having an opportunity to share. He's out in BC right now, and tells me it's snowing there. So
Yep.
so Danny, say hello to everybody.
Hi, everyone. Happy birthday. There's 9 birthdays today, I heard in that room, so that's awesome. Eat all the cake.
Well, they better because I got to lose weight. So today, database management is often overlooked by agents who focus only on new leads. Why do you believe an agent's database is the most valuable asset?
Well, it's the easiest relationships to work with are the people that you already know. They know you, you know them. It's easier to get referrals. It's always been one of the like your friends and family and sphere of influence for most real estate agents is where they get most of their business. I mean, some agents will obviously do like internet leads and social media and I don't know, farming, and there's all sorts of things that you can do, open houses to generate leads. But for the most part, if you look at how many transactions did you do last year and where did they come from, most of them come from your friends, family, and sphere of influence. So having a proper database just makes it so much easier to like have an enjoyable business because you're just working the easy stuff. Like reach for the lower hanging fruit before you reach for like I need to be on social media and I need video and all this other stuff, which is great. And you may want to add that to your arsenal, but I wouldn't add anything else to your arsenal if you didn't have a proper database set up.
Well, that's a great answer, and I've always believed in sphere of influence and past clients. So center of influence. So it's if one of the speakers that we were at the Buzz conference last week, and one of the hosts said they contacted someone 36 times, and 37 times they had success. But what happens is most people don't follow up or drip onto these people, and nothing happens. Like Wayne Gretzky always said, you can never score in all the shots that you don't take. So, what are some of the biggest mistakes real estate agents make when it comes to their database?
Not working it, you feel like an awkward nuisance because you haven't talked to these people in forever, and then it's like you don't have a big enough why of why you're calling and contacting people. And so what ends up happening is your database gets stale, it gets full of holes where you're like all of your phone numbers are on your phone, but you don't put it into the database. I was just with a guy right now who has almost 2,000 contacts on his phone, and when I pulled up his database only six of them had the phone numbers added. And I'm like, well,
Wow.
that's a really awkward system. How do you manage that? So you don't use your database at all. And he's like, yeah, obviously I don't use the database. And it like you can't, your phone is good to have phone numbers, but you can't like truly automate yourself. Um, I like the power of leverage where you could do like a mass email, print off direct mail, do a mass text, schedule a follow-up, remind myself to contact my sphere every quarter, that sort of thing. Um, the funniest stat that I ever heard was actually from NAR, National Association of Realtors, and they asked the consumers, um, would you use your realtor again? And it was overwhelmingly like yes, like it was like 90% yeah, we would use the realtor again. On the exact same survey, it said, did you use if you purchased prior, did you use the same realtor the second time? And the answer was overwhelmingly no. And it's like, why on the same survey would they say they would use the same realtor twice, but they actually didn't? And the reason is because I don't know, the agents just don't keep in touch over time. Like once the home is sold, you kind of move on. And I get it because you kind of feel awkward. Like I did when I first was building my database. I felt like a loser of like, oh, I got my license now. I got to start calling all my friends, family, and people that I never really talked to that much. But now I got my real estate license, and it's like I had to come up with a bigger why. I'm going to share my screen while you ask these questions, actually, because I got some
Fabulous.
stuff to show.
Beautiful.
Uh,
Amazing.
Let me switch this way.
I'll ask you another question while you're doing that.
Okay.
How can agents shift their mindset to see database management as a business growth tool rather than just a list of contacts?
Um, Clean the list so that because your database, most databases, oh, hold on. Most databases are like that. It's just a name, phone number, email, and then there's no real system behind it. So what I like to do is every season, spring, summer, fall, and winter, pick a brand new reason of why you're connecting and reconnecting with your people and make it one thing. Maybe it's free home show tickets. Okay, this is what we're doing now. We're getting home show tickets, so I'm going to connect with everybody, and that's my mission. That way, tomorrow when I wake up, I know I got the same mission. It's the same thing. I just got to keep going down the list. If you don't have a mission, then what ends up happening is you end up winging it and making up what you're doing each day, and you don't have a real plan. And because you don't have a plan, you don't have a purpose, and then it's just easier to go scroll on social media and look at what other people are doing because you're not doing anything productive. So let's just get on social and swipe. So I like having a real mission and a real reason. And every quarter, every 6 months, at least every year, I go from top to bottom of the entire database, one at a time, one at a time. And I just f try and fill in the missing holes. Am I missing phone numbers? I'll reach out to them on Instagram or Facebook and say, hey, Daryl, I was going to give you a call, but don't have your phone number handy. What's the best way to reach you these days? Get all of the phone numbers that I can. And then once I have all the phone numbers, then I'm going to call the people and be like, "Hey, I was going to mail you something, but I realized I don't have the best like the postal code. What's the postal code where you're at? Get the postal code. Okay, cool. Actually, what's the whole address? Like 123 Street?" So I get their address. So now my next campaign is to like fill in all those holes. And it's just like one at a time, like one reason, right? Whether it's an event that you got coming up or the first thing I would be doing, hold on, let me switch my camera
Well, that
back.
was the thing. What's the first step an agent should do to take if their database is disorganized or hasn't been touched in months or years?
Okay, so my very first mission for anybody is this, and it would be Daryl. If I said, "Hey, man, I want to move to Vaughan or Markham or whatever, and my budget is $1 million, and I want to have 2 bedrooms and blah blah blah," and I give you my wish list, what would you set me up on to get alerted of properties that match my criteria? Realm?
Yes.
Realm. Okay. So taking that same concept, I would be setting up my entire database to get notified of just the activity through Realm that's on their street. So if I'm from Oshawa and my sister has a semi-detached home on Waverly in Oshawa, then on Realm, I'm going to set up an alert to notify, if not her, notify me. So either I'm going to have it automatically notify her of all the activity that hits the Waverly Street, or I'm going to get notified. And then every day I can just get notified of all my clients and what's happening in their area. And then I can use that as a reason to like send them a message on Facebook or Instagram of like, hey, Daryl, did you see that listing around the corner? I'm going to send it to you. Now, when I send the person the listing, what I would do is take the MLS number, then go to your agent website, so whatever you're using, KV Core or whatever, plop in the MLS number there, and then it'll give you a link to that listing on your website. That way, when they're looking at other listings, guess who's going to get the lead? You are. Other agents, they're just sending them to realtor.ca and that home doesn't fit their criteria, but they see another home that does. Well, who's the listing agent on that property? So I never actually share the realtor.ca links because I don't want to drive people to realtor.ca. I want to drive people back to our website. So my first mission for everybody would be take your big database of like hundreds of thousands of people and just pick a list of my sphere of influence, friends, family, past clients, and shrink it. Maybe it's 300 people, maybe it's 60 people. I don't know what your number is, but get a number of like, if I call them, do they know who I am? And do they know who I am? Like, vice versa. Do they know me and do I know them? If I can get a warm list, then I would start filling in all the holes. I need phone numbers, emails, and addresses. Well, I'm going to start with trying to get all the phone numbers first. Then I'm going to try and get all the emails. And then I'm going to move on to all of the mailing addresses. Once I have that data, I would be setting up all of my friends, family, and sphere of influence to get notified through Realm of what's happening directly on their street because everybody you know knows three or four other real estate agents. So you guys don't win by default just because you're friends. That other person's cousin is a realtor. That other person's spouse is a realtor. That other person's best friend. You know what I mean? So there's a lot of competition.
So,
But what?
for agents looking to grow their database, what are some smart and simple ways to add high quality contacts consistently? Because they haven't touched base with them for months, maybe a year, but how do they consistently add into that database?
Oh man. So I never had anybody walking into my office like off the street. So I started doing I looked at our brokerage and I picked up all of the vacant listings that our brokerage had and I started doing open houses for those vacant listings because there was nobody home. So that meant I didn't have to do the open house on the weekend. It meant I could do the open house during the weekday, like a Thursday, maybe a Thursday evening, a Wednesday during the day. And I was doing that because I had to work anyways. I had to work either from my home or from my office, but nobody was walking in the door on that. So I started using other people's vacant listings as my mobile office. And every week I would have three or four different locations I would just work from because it gave me the chance to have people walking in the door. I time blocked that so that I had to do an open house three a week minimum. And while I was at those open houses, I had to use my time efficiently. I didn't want to just sit on TV, sit on the couch, or like scrolling on social media. I was either building my touch plan or creating my social media or creating a checklist for buyers, creating a buyer guide. Like I was doing the work while I was at the open house. So I was trying to kill two birds with one stone. And
Perfect.
then, um, not right now because it's so snowy, but door knocking was a huge conversation starter for me personally. I would so I wanted to buy a home for myself that would cash flow as an investor, and it was really hard to find something that would cash flow based on how much is it worth and then how much can you rent it out for. And so what I did was I went to Realtor.ca and I pulled off all the cheapest listings that ever existed in Oshawa that fit my criteria. And I identified where they were. And then I went and door knocked those streets. And so when I door knocked those streets, I'd knock, knock, knock. They open the door. I'm like, hi, I don't suspect you're thinking of selling or not, but we really want to buy in this area. And I had a piece of paper. And on that piece of paper had a map of the street that I was door knocking. And if I door knocked six streets that week, I had six stacks of paper because people tune into what's in it for them. So I'm pointing on the map and they're looking down. I cover it. I'm like, no, no, this is for you to keep in case you think of anybody after you steer me away. So if not you, who? Do you know anybody in this area that's thinking of moving next? Because we really want to be proactive and this is the area that we're looking at. And that gave them permission to get rid of me. And now because I'm totally giving them permission to get rid of me, it's not a hard sales pitch. It's just a conversation. And I ended up buying two houses private before they even hit the market. I'm like, man, I should start doing this for our buyers. So whenever I had a new buyer under contract, I would go door knocking on their behalf based on the criteria of what they were looking for. And face-to-face conversations, like that's it. You just got to get face-to-face. At the
Face
same
to
time,
face.
I was doing Craigslist and Kijiji prospecting, so I would call up all the investors that are advertising that they have like a vacancy, like a house for rent. I wasn't going for the rental. I didn't care about the rental, but I would call them up and say, "Hey, Joey, investor, I noticed you got a home for rent. Is it still available?" And they'd say, "Yeah." And I was like, "Awesome." So, uh, I totally believe you're going to rent that out on your own. Now, I am a real estate agent, and I just want to cast a larger net and see if I could bring you offers for sale. You don't have to accept any of the offers that I bring you, but I just want to know, would you be willing and open to talk about that? Like, have you even considered the possibility of selling and what that house is worth today? Now, I know I'm catching you off guard. I can follow up with you later this week. I'd love to bring you a report and show you what your home is worth, and then just show you how we can bring you offers. And so I was trying to get the investors, because for every one investor, they have two houses, the one they live in and the one that they're renting out. So if I can build a database of 100 investors, that's 200 potential homes that I'm going to be in business for 5 years, 10 years. Well, guess what happens? Mortgages come up for renewal, right? And
80% of the
so,
mortgages come due in 2025.
scary. Oh man, that's going to be a rocky one. Anyways, so be out there. You have to be out face to face. I arranged with the bank where I could set up a table at the bank and we had balloons and all this information. That one was at CIBC. So I do whatever you can to get face to face because if you're at home, you're not face to face. That's my thing.
How often should agents be reaching out to their database and what type of communications work best?
Texting works the best because nobody likes talking. Like you call your sister and she doesn't even answer. Maybe that's just my sister. I'm just kidding. But anyways, you call people, they don't really like talking on the phone. Their voice message is like, don't leave me a message, send me a text. Like, so this is kind of like where we're at. So texting to me is where we're the name of the game. Um, I'm all about building my list and mass texting people because I get way more of a response through that. And what is the word? Well, it changes. Like, what's the reason for the mass text? Like, the first time I did a mass text, it was about a real estate investing seminar that I was putting on, and my sister responded like laughing at me, like, why would you send me this? And I'm like, I don't know. Why would I send you that? So I had to treat my database where it wasn't a one size fits all, where I had to segregate and build a list of like, these are my investors, these are my open house leads, these are the Facebook leads, these are my mortgage partners, these are my, so I had to create smaller lists. That way I could communicate more efficiently. And I just run through each list one at a time with a new reason. Like McDonald's, the burger chain,
Yes.
they'll bring back the Shamrock milkshake. They'll bring back the McRib. They'll bring back the little mini pizzas. They keep bringing back all these little things. Why? Not because the burgers don't sell, but it's because they need fresh marketing for their billboards and their internet ads and their coupons, and they just always have to have something fresh. So same thing, because the burgers definitely aren't fresh. I'm just kidding. But anyways, so you always have to have a fresh reason. And I just didn't reinvent yourself. Every quarter you got to come up with something. I don't know. I used to do events. So I was big on doing smaller events and using that as the reason for why I'm calling and connecting with my database. And it had nothing to do with real estate except for that real estate investing seminar, that one was. But I was doing like a self-defense workshop, and I would hire a self-defense instructor to come in, and I would contact all the women that I know and say, "Hey, we're going to do this women self-defense thing. If you want to go to it, it's free." And then the next one after that, I would do CPR course. I would do rent the segways and do tour of Toronto by like a guided tour of somebody explaining the history of Toronto, but we're all on segways. Monster Jam, like the truck thing at the Sky Dome, you can get a box for pretty cheap. I would do that. So every quarter, I had some sort of event, and I don't need a huge event where I get hundreds of people. Really, I could do like golf lessons at the driving range, get 12 people, and have a really good day. And with those 12 people, I'm going to be developing a way deeper relationship.
So
Yeah.
what's the ideal balance between automated follow-up, emails, texts, and personal outreach calls and meetings?
Oh, okay. So when I do a mass text, I try not to do like I just did this. I pulled off a list of any real estate agent who booked a call with me. It gave me a list of all the people that booked a call. So I then created a mass text that went out about this new program that we're doing where we're using AI to handwrite your letters, and it actually prints on demand your cardstock, writes the message, peel and stick a stamp, and delivers to Canada Post for $4 Canadian. So it's cheaper than you can even do it on your own. And we can automate it based on your birthdays, where a week before a person's birthday, the card gets printed and stamped and delivered. And then on the day of their birthday, you get notified and it says, hey, it's your client's birthday. You already mailed them a card. See if they got it. Say happy birthday. Here's his name, phone number, email. So I am about to be rolling that out and promoting it and like selling it to agents. So I thought the first list of people I should share that with would be anybody who's ever booked a call with me, because they obviously know who I am because they booked a call. And so I did a rule where instead of texting all of them at once, I text 10 a day, 10 a day, 10 a day, 10 a day. So when I send today, 10 text messages went out already. I think three of the people have already responded. So that means seven of them have not responded. So I'm not going to just like,
30%.
I'm not going to do a mass text and just leave it at that, because now what I'm doing is I'm training the seven people that didn't respond. I'm training them not to respond to me. So I'm going to take the list of the seven that didn't respond through text, and then I'm going to send them a message on Facebook or Instagram and be like, hey, Daryl, I sent you a text earlier today. That really was me texting you. Did you get it? I just want to make sure that you got it. I want to share something with you. Boom. Move on to the next one. So I would get like another three or four people, and they'll be like, oh, sorry, I was running around. Oh, I was at the cottage. Oh, I was blah, blah, blah. But so you don't want to just have the ability to mass text people and then treat them like a number. You have to still treat them like a human. The ability to do the mass texting is just to make your job a little bit easier, but it's not to do your job for you, if that makes sense.
Fabulous. How can agents personalize their outreach so it doesn't feel like spam?
Well, what I just did, I text 10 people today, and of the seven that didn't respond, they heard my voice, or they will later on today. They're going to hear my voice, and I'm going to be like, hey, Daryl, I sent you a text. That really was me. I just want to make sure that you got it.
Yeah, because lots of times we get so much stuff and you just feel like
Yep.
it's spam, right?
Yep.
We don't respond back. So, can you share an example of a database touchpoint strategy that has worked really well for top performing agents? You deal with mostly top performing agents.
It's a combination of things, like doing scrubbing your list of like, okay, I got a big dirty database. Let's just focus on my sphere of influence, get them set up on the realm alerts. Like that would be my first thing that I would tell people to do. And then I would just be hard-headed where I got to do three a day, 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 three a day. That works out to about 60 a month, right? And if you did that, you're going to be way further ahead than the other real estate agents, because now those 60 people, it's on a set it and forget it program, because Realm is just going to automatically email them. It's real estate related, it's relevant to them. It's not like cooking tips or fix your roof tips, which I'm not opposed to. You could include those in like your newsletters if you did that. But for the most part, I wanted people to, when they get content from me, I want it to be relevant and I want it to matter. And I don't want it to just be like pure spam. So
There's a lot
each
of
person's
people,
different.
they talk about nothing, right?
Hmm.
Share something of value to them.
Yeah. Here, let me go back to share. I want to share my camera. One second. You can ask the next question, Will.
All right. For agents with a large database like myself, how do you prioritize follow-ups and to avoid letting leads slip through the cracks? Because
Oh,
I have an A, B, and
easy.
C list, but it's so hard sometimes.
Dude, I got the answer. Okay, hold on. Let me come back to this camera. Sorry. Just camera. Um, okay. So whatever database you're using, you should have the ability to tag people or put them in groups. So like sphere of influence would be one. Um, past clients would be another. Another one is interested. All I care is, are they a living, breathing person that has expressed interest in possibly moving? Like they are responsive to me, they reply to my emails, I've talked to them on the phone, I've met them face to face, and there's a chance that they're going to be moving. I slap the interested tag on them. And what happens is over time, that interested list is just going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. And every month you can start from the top and reconnect, or every quarter start from the top and reconnect. And you just will not drop a lead in the crack if you do that. I do appreciate the like A's, B's, C's, or hot leads, cold leads, whatever. The problem with that sort of system is that your database gets out of whack real quick because buyers are liars and the things they tell you don't actually match up with reality. And so now your database is all out of whack because you're labeling them as like they're not interested, like they're a buyer B or whatever, when really they're a buyer A or whatever tags you use. So I don't like having too many tags to identify the leads. All like except for this one, interested. If you can put the interested tag on as many people as possible, it's super clean. It's like they're a human, they're alive, and they're probably going to move. Put the interested tag on them, and then you just rework it every month or every other month or whatever. Whenever you're feeling low and stale and you need more business, just pull up your database, pull up the interested category, start from the top, work your way down. There,
So
there, you can't you can't follow up too much. There's no such thing.
how can agents use their database to generate more repeat business and referrals? Like giving them information once a week, once a month, once every 2 months. I believe everything
Uh,
should be touched once a week, my feelings.
well, okay. So this isn't an answer through your CRM because not everybody is the same. Like my sister would be on my list as my sphere of influence, and she would not want me emailing her, touching her once a week about real estate. She'd
I'm
be
only,
like,
yeah, but it would be trying to give value
right.
stuff, not asking you want to sell.
Yeah,
If you ask me to sell every week, I'd be like, right?
yeah. Okay, so some of the value stuff that I found was every month I would do research on local activities that are fun and free. So I found all like the parade and I found the whatever. There's always like you can go to
Community
the
news,
library.
community news.
Yeah, community news. I was big on that. I was big on like um sometimes like Starbucks will have a big discount on like you get a free coffee or something somehow. Dairy Queen will have something like so sometimes I'll share stuff like that. The real thing that works really well is actually this isn't an answer for database, it's social media. But I will open up social media. So if I go to Instagram, I'm just going to open up Instagram and let's see the first person I see posting. Hold on. All right. So this guy's like got a new listing. He's promoting his new listing. So there is a girl, yes. Oh yeah. Oh my God. Okay, so this will totally work. So this guy's listing, for some reason, you're not going to see it, but there's a flagpole in the front of the house. So I'm going to send him a message right now. So watch this. I'm going to click on his name and send him a message. Send message. So I'm going to send him a voice recording. Hey Nick, what's up, buddy? Danny Wood here. I see that listing you just posted about. It looks like in the photo there's a flagpole. If that is the case, I'm going to suggest you run out today and buy a huge flag that says sold or for make a for sale sign, but print it as a flag and then get that up on the flagpole. Even if you only had it up for 1 day to get a couple photos, it would be worth all its weight in gold. And then you can repurpose that flag for like a table sheet for when you're doing like a trade show or a home show, and you can use that as like the tablecloth. But I think that'd be such a fun idea. Give that a shot, man. Tell me what you think. All right, so I just gave him a real good piece of valuable advice, and that actually would really work. That would be really fun. So what I do is I scroll through social media and I don't post every day on social media. I use other people's content as a springboard for me to share something positive, colorful, or funny with them. Like just yesterday, somebody was posting that they were in Jamaica. So then I sent them a voice message. I'm like, hey, when I went to Jamaica, I told everybody I met that I'm building the best reggae playlist. And I just want you to close your eyes and start tapping your foot and what song comes to mind. And I did that with all the cab drivers, the hotel, the front desk workers, the restaurant. And by the end of the trip, I had the most amazing playlist. In fact, I'm going to share my reggae playlist with you right now, but I just wanted to give you that idea. Hang up. I shared my playlist with
What's
him.
the number one on the list?
I told
Bob
people
Marley.
I
Bob
love
Marley.
I told people I love Bob Marley, but I
Me too. I
want
love
anything
Marley.
but I want to hear this on I want to hear stuff I've never heard before. Um and so anyways, what I use social media as me to be social with other people's content as opposed to me posting my content and hoping people like it and comment.
Yeah, because that was what I was going to
So,
ask you. What were some of the powerful scripts or conversations starter agents can use to re-engage past clients? So
yeah.
maybe
So
that's a tie
go
in there.
export your list of your database and go from top to bottom and search them all on Facebook and Instagram. Add them as a friend on Facebook, follow them or whatever on Instagram and do that. And when you follow a person, if I private message you and then you respond and private message back to me, Instagram and Facebook are going to give you and I a higher quality score between each other because we actually talk. And so if I post something in the future, there's a good chance that the person, like that Nick guy that I just left a voice message to, I haven't seen, I don't even know who he is. To be
Doesn't
honest,
matter.
he's just a real estate agent. Anyways, so he obviously knows me, but who knows the last time he saw anything I posted. Well, now because I private message him and he's going to love that idea or respond, then in the future, when I do post, he's going to see it because I just increased our score between each other. So I don't actually post a lot of content on social media. Very rarely do I post on Facebook and in Instagram. If you go to my profile, I don't post daily or even weekly. Um, but what I do is every day is voice messages to people, and I just share positive, good stuff.
Well, sharing good stuff because that's, you know, what's one overlooked strategy that can instantly improve an agent's database return on investment, right?
Sorry, repeat that. I had to blow my nose.
So how can agents track which leads are ready to transact versus those who need more neutering, right? Have more grip.
That's case by case, just knowing it, being follow up, make good notes, and yeah, everybody's different, so that's a there's not a one size fits all.
So if they're responding back to you or they're asking questions, it's probably more of a trigger point.
Well, I have a rule that they're if they're important enough to be in my database, they're important enough to have a next call date assigned. But I don't treat it like everybody's the same. So some people I'll be like, okay, him I got to call in 3 days, but her I got to call in 3 weeks. This guy I could probably call him in 3 months. So everybody has a different next call date. And when I wake up tomorrow and my CRM is like, these are the 10 people you got to call. Remember, you call, they don't answer. So I call, they don't answer. I hang up, I send them a text, and then I push the next call date. Okay, this guy I'm going to push to tomorrow. This guy, I've been kind of harassing him. I'm going to give him a little bit of a break. I'll call him in a couple weeks. So I just keep pushing the next call date. It's never done. Because once it's done, then they just get lost in your database and you never touch them again unless you do a mass email or a mass text. But you personally following up with purpose for them is gone. So I like doing that. If they are in your database, they need a next call date, and you just keep pushing it forward and you use your gut, knowing you and them and the market and the situation of should I be aggressive and pushing weekly, or can I give them a break and just reconnect in a couple weeks?
Well, here's a great question for you. You'll probably like this. With AI and uh, motivation, automation evolving, how do you see database management change in the next few years?
Oh man. So I just did this yesterday
I
with
knew
a
you were going
girl.
to jump at this.
So she is where is she? Calgary. So she's in Calgary and a lot of people are moving from Kelowna to Calgary and
Really?
vice versa
Oh,
actually. Well, it
I
goes
love
both ways.
Kelowna. I love Kelowna.
A lot I know a lot of people are also moving from Calgary to Kelowna as well. So it goes both ways. But anyways, she wants to be the agent of choice for anybody who's coming from Kelowna to Calgary. So she's like, I'm going to do mass mail to all the real estate agents and do like a referral program. So she was like struggling with this for all this time. And literally in under 5 minutes, I went to a Remax website in Kelowna. I pulled off the list of all of the agents. I then gave it to ChatGPT and it failed. So I gave it to DeepSeek and it succeeded, which is crazy because you don't have to pay on DeepSeek. And so I gave it the list of the agents and I said, create an Excel file with first name, last name, phone, email, and mailing address for all of these agents. And it was done in under a minute. We got I think it was like 200 or 400 contacts in an Excel sheet created in under like minutes, like a couple minutes.
So what is DeepSeek? Most people don't even know what that is.
Right. So it's the Chinese version of ChatGPT. Now, so okay, so this is like a whole can of worms, and it's like,
Well, that's what we're here for.
do you do you trust giving DeepSeek all of your clients' information, their name, their phone number, their email, their birthday, and all that? I probably wouldn't, right? But if I'm doing like generic AI stuff, I would DeepSeek works just fine.
So be careful what you put on there.
Yeah, because once
Really,
you put it in, it's in.
it's
We're
gone.
training. All of the data that we give these things, they're training from us. So, yeah.
They're selling that information to those people from other things, other products, right? Once
Yeah,
they have
but
it.
you can use AI. Like I'm using the AI for I wonder if I can give you a photo. Oh, wait, I can share how do I want to do this? Hold on. Let me keep talking. I want to pull up a photo while I find it.
So, what's one habit agents should adopt today to ensure their database remains a reliable source of business long term or any term?
Cleaning it and working it.
Cleaning and
I
working,
actually using it.
cleaning, working, and using it, right? That's like
I
anything
use
and working it.
um so there's a guy, that guy that I was working with earlier today. He's got what do you have? 1,900 contacts in his phone, and in his CRM, he had 200 contacts, and of those 200, only six of them had phone numbers. So, what we did was I created a Google Sheet because Google Sheets is free. It works on your phone, it works on your computer, it works everywhere. And I created a template for him, and we imported all of his contacts on it. And then I gave him an assignment and I said, starting from the top, work your way down and add all the phone numbers that you got, add all the emails that you got, and once you do that, now go search them on social media and add them as a friend on Facebook and Instagram and send them a voice message and do like three a day. So now he's not even working his database. Like he doesn't even log into the database or the CRM. He's just truly working off of this Google Sheet because he can see where he left off yesterday and he can just pick up where he's gone. So I like doing that. Um, I work off of Google Sheets more and then I import it back into the CRM after I'm done, if that makes sense. I want to share my screen if I can.
So, what about like me? My Facebook is full. I used to go every day to delete 5 to 10 people that haven't contacted me in the last year. That had 5 or 10 more in. And I've opened up a second one, like a business page. What other suggestions would you have for that?
Uh, Say what you just said again because I
So,
didn't get
so
the question.
My Facebook page is full of 5,000 people.
Right.
Every
Okay.
day I go through 5 or 10. If they haven't had conversation with me, I delete them. Then I add 5 or 10 more in. What other
Mm-hmm.
way would you suggest? I open up a business one that
Oh,
started that too.
no, no, no. Okay. Well, so the business one is pay to play. If you post anything, the only way people are going to see it is if you pay for it. You're going to get way more engagement with your own profile, your Facebook profile, like the thing that you log into Facebook with, way more than a business page. The only reason you'd even need a business page is if you plan on running ads. If you want to do Facebook ads and generate leads, then you need a business page. But otherwise, for like 99% of the people in the room, sure, set up a business page because it's free and you can have it. But I can guarantee you, if you post the exact same content as a person on Facebook or on your business page, you're going to get way more engagement on the personal side. So just here, Daryl, for you, I would show you this. I'm going to go to Facebook. All right. Feeds. So if I come to feeds, I can then go to is it favorites? Yeah, manage favorites. So I can hit get started. So you can actually create a filter within your Facebook and say, and you actually select all of your friends and the pages. So you would actually select a list of all the people that the 5,000 people that you're connected with on Facebook. You would select the 500 that actually matter. And then that way, when you then come to Facebook, so if I come to Facebook and here's my news feed, this girl is making fun of Facebook for making her look fat. Here's an ad for
How does it make you look
commercial.
thin?
I don't know. There's a glitch. Apparently, the Facebook avatars, a lot of people's Facebook avatars like blown up for some reason.
Really? It's crazy.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't even use those. But anyways, so I can customize my feed. If I go to feeds, I can customize what do I see in my news feed. So you don't need to make a whole new profile. I would just do feeds, go to favorites, and then if you hit get started, and then you just literally select off all your friends. And now tomorrow when you check your feed, it's just going to be the people that you care about anyways.
I care
So
about everybody. I love everybody, brother.
right. Well, except for the 5,000 because it was overwhelming and you wanted to make a whole new page. So, to circumvent that, this is AI. I want to show you AI. So we're using AI that it actually handwrites. You can see my screen, right?
Yes.
Cool. Okay. So it says, "Hey, first name."
First
So it'd be like,
name.
"Hey, Daryl, this is a sample of my automated handwritten letter, blah blah blah." So it actually uses AI. Let me find an example. Oh, here we go. Whoops. In the word anniversary, see how the two ends are slightly different? They
Yes.
look pretty similar in this case. Let me see if I can find a better example. And this is just a JPEG picture, so it's not the same as the real thing. Oh, there you go. This S. All right, look at mass. See how this S is like flatter and this one's more curved?
Yes.
So what the AI is doing is it looks at the predetermined, so we could have like a birthday message that goes out, and it looks at the wording, and if my name was Danny, it's got two N's in it, it's going to make sure that the two N's that are side by side are not the same. So the AI, that's how I would use AI with your database, is something like this. I wouldn't use AI to actually communicate with your database um fully on
It's
autopilot
not
because it'll make
personal.
you look, yeah, it'll make you look nuts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You always have to check what you put in an AI for sure.
Yeah.
Sound like a robot. Robot.
So I actually had a whole presentation that I was going to like share my screen, but I loved all the questions that you kept rolling off with. So um
So
I don't
here's
know if you
another
want me
one.
to.
I'll
Okay,
give
keep
you
it going.
another question. If you could give one piece of advice to an agent struggling to leverage their database effectively, what would it be?
It would probably be that they just aren't comfortable with the database itself, whether it's top producer or KV core or follow up boss or whatever your team's promoting. People get overwhelmed with it. So I like keeping it simple and just using a Google Sheet. List of my names, list of my phone numbers, list of my phone emails, list of the addresses, whoops, list of the birthdays, and I can see it. And I just try starting from scratch, working with a Google Sheet first. And then once you have all the data, then get it into a CRM and then use that rule of like everybody has a follow-up date, but they're different. Maybe this guy's tomorrow, this guy's next week, this girl's next year. So I would start clean. Um, and with purpose. Like pick a reason. Do you guys is the home show coming up with free
Yeah, it
tickets
is.
for you
Yeah,
guys?
it is.
Oh man, I'd be
It's
all
not
over
free
that
tickets.
then.
Not free tickets. It's they're not too costly, but they're available for the Remax agents. Yes.
Oh, cool. Well, whatever. You could get it covered. I would get my mortgage broker to pay for the tickets and do like, oh, I'd get a whole landing page talking about the free home show tickets, and it would be me and my mortgage partner, and the mortgage partner is the one that pays for the actual ticket.
So you have a presentation you want to share. How long is your presentation?
It's an hour and we have
Oh,
15 minutes. So how about this? How about we do a bonus round? In the future, you bring me back and we'll save your questions to the end and I'll just get right into the screen sharing and I'll show all the different things of like landing pages and all that. So we'll do like a bonus future session.
okay. I'm into that. So if then I'll just continue asking another question. If someone wants to take their database to the next level, starting today, because I always believe in today and not tomorrow, what's the first action step they should take right now? So they get off the phone, or got nothing to do for the rest of the day. What should they do?
The Google Sheet. Make a Google Sheet with first name, last name, phone number, email, mailing address, and I would have it broken up
Do
where
you
it's
have a
address,
template for that you
city,
can share on screen?
postal code. Cool. Yeah, actually,
Yeah, why don't we do that?
that's
Let's let everybody see it, right?
um
I say a picture is worth 1,000 words sometimes.
so let me Oh, actually here I was in Google Sheets. So here is the AI yesterday pulled a list of first name, last name, phone number, and email in about 2 minutes, and I got 151 contacts done yesterday
So
using
what
AI.
you got 151 contacts now. So what would be the first thing that let's say I want to contact them. I put 151 people in that contact. What would
So she
I
is
do from here?
we're going to do direct mail to all those agents, and then a week after the mail goes out, she's going to call them all to say, "Hey, did you get the letter I sent you?" And they're all going to say no because it's like they don't go to the office and they just didn't see it or whatever. So it doesn't matter that they got it or didn't. It just gives her permission to like a reason to call them. So then she's going to call them and say, "Yeah, I'm a Calgary real estate agent. I'm trying to work and gain relationships with people from Kelowna because I know a lot of people are moving from Kelowna, and I just want to be your option. And is it possible that I send you a follow-up email that has all my information? And then since I'm at it, I'm going to follow you on social media as well. How's that sound?" And
Sounds
like
sounds
they're all going to say,
fantastic.
"Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. Well, because you're
okay,
not really you're trying to help them out, right?
yep,
They're gonna get a referral fee where they might
yep,
have got nothing. They have a
yep,
destination and someone that they can send to. That's why, guys, it's so important to go to events and network, right?
yeah."
Or even touch base with people in other places, whether it be Niagara Falls, Hamilton, London, Winnipeg, wherever. Just touch out, whether by email or by phone call or by text or whatever. Introduce yourself. Just let them know if they got someone coming your way. You can look after them.
I want to
So,
give you guys this as a template.
okay, that's cool. We like that. I probably have it already. But I can always take yours and look at it.
Yeah, there's nothing special. I like to make notes about like what did we talk about or how can I keep the conversation going. So I like that on the over on the left. And then their name and phone number. That way, when I'm using the app on my phone, because when you use the app on your phone, it's going to get like condensed. How do I close that? Like this, like pretend like this is the shape of a phone. So it actually like cuts off everything
Half
that's
of it.
over here. I got to
Yeah.
swipe. Yeah. So I just have the notes as the first thing, their first name, last name, and their phone number. Um, Yeah. Okay. So dun dun dun. Yeah, and then you can add other you like spouse if you want. You know what I mean? You can add other columns, but these are the ones that really matter. Their first name, last name, their cell phone, their email, their address, the city, the postal code, and their birthday, right? So let me share this with you. I'll do database template. All right. Anyone with the link can view. I'll try view. That way you can make a copy of it. I hope that works. So I'm going to put this in the Zoom chat. But anyways, it's easy to recreate this, take a picture. So I would start with this, building this list to the best of your ability. Maybe you only get 30 people. Maybe you get 60 people. Whatever. This is going to be like your core people. Now, once you have this set up, you want to make sure that you're following them all on social media. And then on top of that, you want to make sure that you set them all up to get the notification on Realm of what's happening in their area. Okay, Google there. I'm going to put two things in the Zoom chat.
Okay.
The first one was that Google template that we're looking at here, and then the other one. What is this? A Kiwi. Oh, one of you already clicked the link. Cool. Hey, anonymous Kiwi. Um, yeah. Anyways, there you go.
Is
So
that
that's what I would start
Kiki?
with.
Kiki.
Oh yeah, maybe. Hi, Kiki.
Kiwi.
Hi, Kiwi.
We got Lin Lin. Is she smiling?
So that's what I would start with. I just start with your list and think. Like close your eyes and
Think,
think.
think, think,
Who
think. Isn't that
who
amazing? Think and work, right?
who was brought up buying or selling with you in the last year? Can you think who is possibly thinking about buying or selling a home? And force yourself to actually think about that and then write it down. And then when you write it down, you're going to write down their first name. And now it's your assignment to figure out, okay, do I have their phone number? Do I have their email? Do I have their address? And then fill in those missing holes. That's
So
it.
here I got one for you, Dan. So they're
Huh.
supposed to do open houses, the team constantly, right? So we have a property up at King Heights. They're all
Yeah.
should be, they all, it's a new sales development and there's a private office up there. They can go sit there.
Hmm.
It's the best office they could actually go to because they can build up that database. Because if they're going there, we're going to give them 10 or 20 leads every day they go there. And they can touch, and we want them to contact those leads. And then they should have other leads that they got there. So one of the databases that they should form is their open house database. So they could do a
Yep.
complete drip of all the open house people that they got. But to do that, you got to go do open houses. So I want to see everybody sign up for an open house. We don't have one for everybody, but I would be the ones that are here, go sign up right away. I know one of the agents signed up for Saturday. He said, well, most definitely. Because last Saturday there was heavy snow. Nobody came. But I seen a house that was on the market for 4 months. And then they did an open house. They did a small adjustment on it. They had 45, and this was in Aurora. They had 45 people into it and end up getting multiple offers because of that open house. So, you know, you never, and as Danny mentioned, one of the best sources of business is from your open house. So if we advertise it early enough, get the people out there, put the signs out there properly. We just renewed our permits for the York, where we don't get them taken away. So if you guys haven't signed up to King Heights, make sure you get signed up there. It's such a great opportunity. You guys are passing that up. So they're like, it's just constantly following up and following up. We had followed up on one today,
Hmm.
and this is one that was given out again, but they weren't followed up, and they want to buy something. They want to list and buy something. So every day, remember I said there's an opportunity every day, but you got to go do something to make it happen. So today is that day to go make it happen. Don't procrastinate.
I'd be all over that. That would be my mobile office.
Yes. Guys,
Anywhere that people can walk in the door to me, I'd rather a couple hours a week. I would just time block it where, okay, every Tuesday and Thursday, I'm at that from this time to this time. And while nobody's walking in the door, I'm going to work on cleaning my list.
but no, if they're calling the people, they can invite them to go there, right? It's a
Yep.
sales office. So we only normally have one agent there. They could go with two if they want. But what a perfect place and time to just go and prospect constantly and have the people come in. They could come and visit them. Come on in and have a look. Let's see what we got, right? It's endless.
Well,
So,
with social media, people love the like behind the scenes. That's why Instagram blew up way back in the day, is because we got to see in the lives of the celebrities and athletes and stars because they were posting like behind the scenes of them at the movie while they're filming like King Kong or whatever. The guys like showing like the backdrop or whatever. And it was like, wow, like people like the behind the scenes stuff. So, if I was being to be at that new build doing an open house and sitting at the office or whatever, I'd be doing a couple behind the scenes of like showing the cool sizzle stuff of like, Oh my God, look at this brand new condo. This is how people sign in and unlock the door. It's so neat. Like whatever, I don't know. I'm just making something
Yeah,
up.
just
But I'm
something,
sure that
going on.
condo, yeah, I'm
Yeah,
sure that condo's got
it's
some
being
cool
built
stuff.
right now. So we go there every week and do a little video of what's happening every week. So they can add that onto their thing there, to their social. They can do, we did so many sales. They can do what's going on in the community because there's a new community center just opened up in King. So there's so many things that they can all tie into this open house. And they're missing that opportunity by not being there. So I'm going to
Mhm.
stress to you guys, King Heights, lead, follow up, follow up, follow up. We had 1,000 leads and we're not following them up. So we need to get on it.
I want to pitch an idea. You don't have to answer because I'm going to put you on the spot.
I
But
love
in the
that. Pitch
future,
me, baby. I don't mind being
it
on the
would be
spot.
cool. It would be cool if we did like a group coaching for the only those that are actually going to participate and show up and like want to do it. And anyways, it's going to be like a boot camp where they each bring their list and like, okay, let's scrub it, clean it, and so that's like the first week, and then the second week is actually calling with purpose of having a reason, and each agent's going to pick their own reason, and it's like a dedicated time to iron out because people when they love good ideas when we're talking ideas right now all they got cake they're happy they're high on sugar we're going to hang up this call and they're going to be like yeah that was a good session and then go back to regular life and not implement some ideas this would be like a force you to actually find the road bumps and let's iron them out type of thing so if your crew would be into that then we could set up a group like a 4 week boot camp.
Just what I can see of the people that are here, put up a hand if you would be interested in that. In this room, I've got a lot of like, I would say 80% of the people put their hands up, right? So we'll look at a cost and how we can accommodate that, right?
Cool. Awesome. Well, good. Thanks, guys. And then it looks like you got a bonus session because I didn't even do the screen share part. So we'll set a future date and time, and I'll show you guys visually all the different things that you can do to leverage a database. Those were great questions, by the way. I hopefully you recorded this. But
It's
anyways,
recorded. I'll be sending it to you. Don't worry.
cool. Okay. Yeah,
Right.
yeah. So anyways, we'll do another session whenever you want, based on like what I was going to do today.
So can we you got a little time for some questions from some of the audience?
Yeah, please.
Okay.
And online.
Yeah. So
Yep.
has anybody got a question that I'd like to ask my good buddy Dan here? Because like I said, he's one of the most brilliant minds that I know in this stuff. And he does actually what he says. So there's lots of people just talk about a lot of stuff, but they don't actually do it. But I know that he's always coming up. He's a 24/7. He's just constantly feeding his brain and trying things out. It's like he'll buzz me at 4 o'clock in the morning. Boom, I got this idea for you. It's great. So the idea, but not only does he get the idea, then he makes a purpose to go find a system, work that idea, right? Dreams. If you don't have dreams, guys, you can't have success. You have to have your visions in your dream to have, that's why I talked about what we talked about discipline, accountability, and all of that earlier, because that's all part of the equation. So, who's got a question that wants to come up to the mic that's in here live or on audience here that wants to ask a question from Dan? Don't be shy. No question is listen. The question helps everybody because everybody probably have the same thing, right? Everybody. Well, I'm afraid that they're scared to ask questions, but shyness or whatever it may be. So I'd like to take this moment and thank Danny that anytime that I talk and listen to him, it's just there's always something I'm going to pick up. And, so now because I asked too many questions, now we hold the whole session that we were going to do originally. So I'll just let him go on and do that part of it. And I won't ask questions unless I have some time at the end. Then I'll ask a few questions. But again, Danny, I can't thank you enough. And from everybody here, Daryl King was sharing the mindsets. Till next time that now we're going to have a bonus session. We'll have to pick a date for that.
Yep.
And I have a question for you. Do you
Uh,
know? I know that you're not on Realm where you are, but do you know how many people that we could put on Realm? Does someone have an answer for that? Like,
There
so
shouldn't be a cap. I believe there would be, but there shouldn't be. I don't think there should be a cap, and I don't think there should be an expiry.
on the old
It's your
system,
business.
there was a cap. You could only put,
Two. Yeah, like
yeah,
200 or something.
not even. No, not even. Like you could put it, but
Oh.
you couldn't go deep like this. So does anyone have that answer? How many people you could put on Realm to, let's say, put their street so they live on John Doe Street or Mary Jane Street, and up to 1,000. So guys, a lot of you don't have 1,000 people in your database, but so you could put actually everybody in your database if you worked on it. I mean, I can, I got too many people, but I think we got 65.
And if you do have too many, so if you do have too many people, what you could do is one for each city. I would do one for all my Oshawa people, one for all my Whitby people, one for all my Bowmanville people. And I could do it that way. And it's easy because I could just search the address of like, oh, this address, and it pulls up all the people. So you could do it based on city if you have too many.
I don't know, because it might only allow you to do XYZ. I don't know. That's something that we'll have to look into, because I have well over 1,000, in our whole database. I think we got 65,000, and I can't trip on them all the time, but we can pick up our A clients, our past clients, our center of influence clients, and get them on there at least. Right. So, and then our open house clients, I mean, that's what these guys should be adding on. They should be adding their interest in their open houses. So what I'm going to challenge you guys, because we're going to do a 90-day challenge starting tomorrow. So this can help a lot of the agents out here, that they can start to do this immediately. So that can be.
Oh, okay. So when we go offline and we set another date for like a future webinar, we could do the group coaching thing in alignment with this 90-day thing. So maybe like at the halfway mark, we could start the group coaching, and it would like push people over the hump of where they got stuck.
Okay, we can look into that. Sure. Absolutely.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Right. So guys, can I have a big hand for Danny, everybody? A big hand. Come on. You guys are getting too much chocolate cake and you're start getting lazy now. Okay, one more time. Let's have a little bigger applause for that.
Right? Thank you.
Well, listen, I never want to have anybody go unrecognized. I always believe in recognition is crucial to success and to award people. Some people are awarded by money, but I think recognition is another great way. So I always want to recognize you as one of the greatest bright minds in the business, and a great friend as always, Danny. We will chat after this.
Yep.
And we'll set up some dates and that. So I want to thank you, and being on Sharing the Mindsets with Daryl. So we'll be closing off, and I'll just tell you who our next guest is going to be on here. This is really, really exciting. We got Richard Robbins coming on here, March 20th. Woo! Right? So, yeah, really. So Danny would like that, because he knows Richard quite well also. Right?
Yep.
So
yep. I used to work with them.
That's right.
I used to work at Richard Robbins.
I know that. So that's why I thought you'd be excited to hear that, because I know Rich would say that about you. So anyway, cool. Well, everybody, we're signing off. All the best. Everybody take care. Till next time. All the best.